Hello friends, welcome back. My name's Jenny and we're here. It is almost August, which seems like it's crazy. It is crazy. It's because it is crazy. Summer is going by so fast, and I wanted to do a sort of an up-to-date vlog on a couple of the fun things that we've had going on this summer, and a little bit of an update for you on my entire journey of the overwhelm and paralysis that I've been in lately, my ADHD journey, and all of that. So, to start off with, I'm going to give you guys some footage from the amazing weekend that I spent in Vermont at the end of June. I unfortunately had to head up to Vermont to celebrate the life of a person who was very special to me, who had passed on. And it was a family event. I got to go with my son and his dad and his stepmom and, these people who are so special to me. And I got to stay in a place that is also very special to me. When I was very young, only like 25, 26, I lived in Vermont for a year. And when I was there, I worked at the Trapp family lodge in Stowe. Anyone who is familiar with Vermont will know that this is a very famous location. If you're not familiar with Vermont, I'm sure you've heard of this tiny movie / stage musical. Not sure if you've ever heard of it, The Sound of Music. I'm sure you're all familiar with The Sound of Music. So The Sound of Music is based on a true story, and it is the story of the Von Trapp family. They were a real family. They were in Austria, and they escaped from Austria at the start of World War II. They fled to America, and they settled in America in northern Vermont. And the entire family, if you know the story of Maria and the captain, and they had all the children. This is fairly accurate. Maria and Georg had a lot of children themselves after they got married, but there were children from his previous marriage. But anyway, they settled in Vermont, and they started a ski lodge. In Austria, cross-country ski is obviously a part of the culture there. It's a huge part of the culture. And so in America, the Von Trapps decided to start a ski lodge to provide a place for people to cross-country ski in the beautiful Green Mountains of Vermont. The Trapp family lodge is still owned by the Von Trapp family. It's dedicated to celebrating their family and all that they accomplished. Their careers as singers, the Von Trapp family singers, were a real thing. They wrote books. They have done so much for the community in the Stowe area. Even though Maria and Georg and some of the siblings have passed on, the lodge is still owned by the youngest child of the Von Trapps, Maria and Georg. So it's still in the family. There are a lot of local Von Trapps in the area. And I'm lucky to have a connection to the Trapp Lodge through my ex-husband's family who did work at the lodge. They were able to get me a job there, and I actually did work there for a year as well. So it's a very special place to me. And that happens to be where the celebration of life was happening. So, even though we were there for a sad occasion, I still really appreciated the opportunity to go back to this very special place, to go there with Riker, to stay in the lodge, which is beautiful. It's such a beautiful setting. It always makes me happy when I'm there. I love to walk on the grounds. I love to visit the gravesite where Maria and Georg and the children who have passed on are buried. I love to go to the bar. They have a piano that plays every night in the lounge. The building is just beautiful. It's full of all types of memorabilia from the Trapp family. And it's full of Austrian imagery and artifacts and tapestries and just all types of very interesting things. It serves beautiful, wonderful food. The Trapp Beer Hall they now have a brewery on site, and they make incredible beer, and they serve German food at the beer hall. And the town of Stowe itself is just beautiful and very cool, and there's lots to do there, and it's just a very neat place. So it was very nice to be able to go back to see some old friends who I have not seen for many, many years. Just be with them and celebrate the life of this very, very special man. And and just really feel grateful for the time that I was able to spend there and the connection, the lifelong connection that I now have to this beautiful part of the country. So yeah, that trip to Vermont was really beautiful, and I tried to take some footage to share with everybody. Not long after that, I had another little adventure. Riker and I had a vacation. We had planned this vacation like a year in advance with one of my best friends. Her family was heading to Cancun, Mexico for her 40th birthday. And guess who she decided to invite to come with her? Me and my son and a couple other friends of ours. We flew down to Cancun the day after the hurricane barreled through Cancun and the Yucatan Peninsula. And we were very worried that this was going to affect our travel and our trip, but thankfully it really didn't affect it very much. Our flights came in totally on time. The weather was actually pretty nice while we were there. We didn't experience a lot of rain afterwards, and we were still able to really, really enjoy our time. We were there for 4 nights, 5 days, and Riker just had such an incredible time swimming in the ocean and at the pools at the resort. Staying at an all-inclusive was just really nice because it sort of takes away all of the stress that comes with planning trips, so that you don't really have to plan much. Like, you're there and they have all the things you need. They got the pools, they got the bars, they got the restaurants, they got the beach. You just stay there and do things there, and all the things you do are fun. So that was Mexico. We had a great time. We took a day trip to go snorkeling at this ocean inlet. And we also went snorkeling in a cave and in a cenote, and we did some zip lining and cliff jumping in the cenote, and gosh, that was so much fun. And Riker just, that boy, he embraced the adventure like as a Sagittarius moon. I have a very adventurous spirit. Like, in my soul, like, I want to be out in the world adventuring and having new experiences and seeing the world and learning about different cultures and people and things. And so seeing him be so excited to learn about the culture down there, to be fascinated by all of the Mayan-inspired architecture and reliefs and art that we were seeing, and to be able to talk to him about that, and to be able to go to a cenote and learn about that, and then to jump off of a cliff and go ziplining into the water. Like, this kid did it with no fear, and I was so proud of him. And so it was really wonderful having that adventure together. So that trip was very fun. It was tiring though, and of course, we all came back sick. We got sick almost immediately after we got back, which was kind of a bummer. But, we just took a little bit of a break, had some downtime. I focused on work and writing and, just things around my house for a little bit. And now that all of that is over, I have to actually deal with how I move on from coming out of this place of overwhelm, pretty extreme fatigue, and paralysis related to my personal pursuits and my special projects and all of the things that I want to do, and the business I want to create, and the freelance work I'm doing, and all of it. It's so much. But I wanted to first focus, before I started diving into the details of tasks related to how to do all of those things, I wanted to tackle first my health, my mental health, and my daily habits and the way that I'm supporting myself so that I can be more successful in all of these areas in which I'm struggling. And so when it came to trying to figure out what was going on with my executive function problems, my inability to focus, my distractibility, all of that, I did end up being able to have an ADHD assessment a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. And my therapist did assert that I was most likely neurodivergent and that I have a form of ADHD. So we did it. So I got an initial diagnosis. And so from here, I have a secondary appointment scheduled for 2 weeks from now. And that is going to be my psych evaluation with a clinical psychologist to sort of dig down deeper into the ADHD that I'm experiencing, or that I have. I guess it is a genetic thing. It's not like it's just a passing fancy. So anyway, what type of ADHD, and do I need medication? What would be a good medication if so? And so the purpose of that meeting is to determine a little bit more diagnostically what's going on, and then also if I should be medicated and how we would be approaching medication. So, depending on how that goes, I could be starting medication possibly in the next couple of weeks, which I think I was talking to my therapist this morning about it, and I think that that's going to be, if that's the route we go, that could be hugely supportive of all of the changes that I'm wanting to make in my lifestyle to help support the things that I want to do. Because my problem isn't the planning or necessarily the knowing exactly what I want to do. It's the actual execution of that and having the ability to take action on things, to get things straight and organized, and then myself in a position to be able to take action on it, and then to be able to actually focus on them without being distracted, and without being pulled away by a lot of spontaneous impulses that I get to do other things in the midst of when I'm trying to get something done. I will get many spontaneous impulses and be pulled away from it extremely easily right now. What was I doing yesterday? I was doing something. I was trying to write in my journal. It was the morning. I've been kind of off my journal habit a little bit, and I was like, I want to write in a journal. And it was 1 page of a journal entry. And yet, I stepped away, jumped off my couch to go do something else 5 times in the middle of writing that one journal entry. As you can imagine, it makes it really hard to get anything done when you can't even focus or control your impulses enough in a 20-minute period to be able to write 1 page in a journal without being pulled away by some distracting thought. Because that's where I am right now, and that has been one of the things that's really frustrating to me. So if supporting myself better through medication can help me deal with that mental process and those habits that have been really hard for me to suppress or control, and to give my mind more focus, the ability to be more singularly focused, that would be really great, because I feel like I could actually execute a lot of the things that I'm planning and wanting to do if that one thing changed. So, yeah. So when it comes to all of the things that I'm going to be trying to do right now to try and help support myself during this kind of transition period, I'm trying to get on some supplements that are known to help support the ADHD brain, such as GABA and magnesium threonate, I believe, and omega-3 fatty acids. So I'm looking at foods that naturally have these type of things in them, as well as supplementation. I am trying to figure out ways to build habits in my day that are more supportive of me actually sitting down to do focused work. So things like time blocking on my Google Calendar works pretty well for me, and setting reminders and time limits for myself and things like that. And tasking myself in that sort of way is very helpful, as well as I'm experimenting with different focus mode and app blocker type apps on my phone and my computer. I've downloaded some ADHD Notion templates that help with planning different areas of your life, because it is really helpful for me to segment different areas of my life and to look at them separately when I'm planning for each of them, as well as ADHD trackers for budgeting and things like that. So I'm going to be working on figuring out what the right schedule is for me. I'm not good at keeping schedules or routines. I'm very bad at routines. Routines don't work for me very well, but I'm going to really try to have a loose routine where I at least know what part of my day I need to have my butt in a chair in my office to work and to actually do things. I made a list of all of the potential things that I could be working on during that time when I'm doing focused work in my office, so that I can never just sit at my computer and stare at my computer and go, I don't know what to do. What do I do? And so I do that a lot. Sometimes I'll just sit down and be like, I'm going to do work on my business or my whatever project. And then I just kind of stare and I'm like, I don't even know what to do or where to start. So building some lists and resources that I can go to when, like, for each different project, here are all the tasks I could be doing when I sit down to work. For each different area of my life, these are all the things that I could be doing when I decide that I want to dedicate this amount of time to doing work in this area of my life. I want to know if it's like this complicated for other people. Is this just me now understanding that I'm a neurodivergent person? And like this stuff has just never been easy or straightforward for me. And I'm wondering, is that just a neurodivergence thing? Is that a me thing? I would really love to know if this stuff seems as hard to do for other people as it does for me for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, that's stuff that I'm working on. And then I'm also working, I haven't been super focused on it lately, but I'm coming to understand my role in human design as a projector, as a self-projected projector, better and better and better all the time, right? And so there are certain things that I want to focus my energy into that will allow me to thrive in that projector energy, doing what I am intended to do, doing what my body is built to do, what my energy wants to do. So I made a podcast last week and that felt really good. I want to keep podcasting because talking and sharing and using my voice to synthesize my thoughts is so right for me. It's not right for everybody. For me, that's a right way to use my energy. It always feels good. And so I want to keep doing that. Writing is another great way that I can use my energy and my gifts and the way that I'm built as a projector. And so I want to keep writing. I actually took myself to the library last week to write in the afternoon. And it was so good, you guys. I did so much writing compared to what I usually do at home on my couch surrounded by distractions. So that's something that I am going to keep doing because I loved it. It felt great. So coming up with different ways that I can learn, synthesize, and share my knowledge and perspective with the world are things that I know feel good and that I want to continue to focus on and to do. And so that is the point of this right now, kind of. Also just to talk about my life with people and share. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy editing. I really enjoy that entire process. And I like being able to sit down and talk and connect with people and see like who else out there is having these type of experiences. What can we learn from each other? How can we help each other? That's what I'm here to do. That's what I like about being on YouTube. That's what I like about making TikTok content as well. On TikTok, I talk about this type of stuff sometimes, but I talk about books a lot because I really freaking love books. Sorry, that's me. And so I have a niche, a friend group and following on TikTok where a lot of us are really into books and we like to talk about books, and that makes me really happy too. So just thinking about the ways in which I can be creating things and putting them out to the world in that manner, that really, really allows me to swim in my projector energy and do my thing and do what I'm supposed to be doing and do what feels good, And so that's kind of what I'm focused on right now and what I will be working on over the next couple of weeks. And then hopefully, if I do end up getting a recommendation for medication and a prescription, then we will be following up on this video with another video where I can show you guys all about what happens to my process when I start ADHD meds, which I don't know if it'll happen yet, but we'll see. So that will be very interesting. All right, so I would love to next week make a video taking you guys with me as I'm trying to do some of this stuff that I'm talking about, so that not every video of mine just turns into a cute little vlog with plants and scenery and then me sitting down and talking at you for 20 minutes. So maybe next week I will take you along and you can be a little bit a part of my process of trying to figure out what to do with my life as a multipotentialite human design projector with ADHD who struggles in a lot of these areas having to do with project management executive function and bringing my creative visions to reality. I think that's probably something a lot more people out there can relate to than you think. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. And yeah, we will catch up on the next video, and I will talk to you then. Make sure you subscribe and like it though also, because, you know, life's tough out here being a 40-something-year-old content-y person on the internet. I just, you know, I'm a voice, and I think that there are a lot of other people out there who may be similar to me who could benefit or at least like enjoy being a part of my little community. And so the more people who like and subscribe to this, the bigger my channel can get, and that would be just amazing. I would appreciate it, and I'm hoping that more and more people will be able to jump on the train here and see themselves reflected in what I'm talking about, and that we can help each other and provide a space for people to feel seen and validated, and to come up with better ways to live so that we can all pursue lives of happiness and fulfillment and joy that bring us closer to where we want to be in life. That is my raison d'être, and I'm glad that you're here with me for that journey. So, anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. That was my spiel. My name is Jenny. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.